Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the City of McAllen and McAllen Police Department, we are proud to welcome you to the McAllen Convention Center. Over the last few days and beginning yesterday, County Judge Ricardo Cortez, District Attorney Rick Rodriguez, and Sheriff Eddie Guerra have begun to unify the law enforcement aspect of the emergency that we're under right now. So part of this today is to make sure that we have established, identifiable, centralized direction in some of the matters that law enforcement would be particularly involved with. So for that, we want to particularly applaud and thank Judge Cortez, Rick Rodriguez, and Sheriff Guerra for their leadership on this. They will speak to you in that order. Also, Victor Escalon, the Regional Director for DPS, will have a few things to say on his behalf and on DPS's behalf. Austin Skero, the Assistant Chief for Border Patrol in this sector, will also have a few comments to make here in a few minutes. Underlying all of the things that we are going through right now, there is an exception. There's an exception to a variety, well, there are various exceptions, but one of them, obviously, if you're wondering why there's more than 10 of us, there are exceptions to essential services, for example. So we are, as you would guess, essential services, so we're not in violation of any of the things that we're necessarily trying to address today in a unified manner. So hopefully part of the messaging today is, number one, is that we are getting one direction from the Hidalgo County Judge and his Emergency Management Office as it relates to these matters, and that we are together unified to respond to and address the matters under the current emergency condition that we're all under. So with that, I'll introduce Hidalgo County Judge Ricardo Cortez.
Thank you, Chief. Well, today we find ourselves in difficult times. What's going on with this virus is unprecedented, really, in the history of this county. This virus that we're dealing with is a very contagious virus. Spreads very quickly, very easily, especially when people are socially gathered together in large numbers. In order to take control of this disease and to curtail it from spreading, certain temporary measures have been taken. Recently, the governor passed an executive order that makes some restrictions on all Texans regarding gatherings and congregating together. These rules have been published. As a result of that, I myself, as county judge, made another order, local order, that included, in addition to some of the precautions about gatherings of people, price control, or trying to eliminate price gouging. This is not the time to allow people to take advantage of our elderly or of our poor, because when food supplies are scarce, they're the ones in most need, they're the ones that could least pay for higher prices. So any rules that we put on the books are only as good as the enforcement. So as we were meeting together with the district attorney and our sheriff to discuss what would be law enforcement's efforts and duties to be able to enforce that, we wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page. Today, as we discuss those rules and we discuss the enforcement of the rules that are in place, there still remains some uncertainties and clarification of things. So we want you to make sure that Hidalgo County has put a hotline, and we're going to try to get the best, most reliable answers to anybody's questions that you can call. And that number is 956-292-7765. Okay. We also have a webpage that's there for you to be able to go and get information. This is a fluid matter. We're all trying to respond to the needs of our community, and we ask that it's everybody's duty to try to work on the spirit of what we're trying to do. We're trying to take control of the disease. We don't want it to spread. the best way to keep and control from spreading is to try to have social distance from one another. Obviously, like situations like today require more than 10 of us to get together to be able to provide these services. So there will be some exceptions. So with that, I'd like to pass it on to, I believe, Sheriff Guerra for further information. I'm sorry, to our District Attorney, Ricardo Rodriguez.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge. Good morning. First of all, I want to thank all the law enforcement agencies who are here together. We want to make sure that we show the public and the citizens of Hidalgo County that even though there's a lot of things going on these past weeks or month, we want the public to understand that the law enforcement is still in the forefront. Law enforcement will continue to work together, not only with my office, but collaboratively continue to be partners in making sure that we keep our citizens as safe as possible. One of the things that Judge Cortez touched upon was price gouging. We want the citizens to know that price gouging is against the law. Because of the disaster that has been declared, because of the executive orders that are in place, the laws give us the opportunity to enforce and prosecute, as a district attorney's office, price gouging, whether it's criminally or civilly. And how will we do this? One, we will support and help the AG's office in prosecuting civilly or criminally any individuals who are price gouging. There is a toll-free number that individuals can call and make a complaint, but we're not going to settle just with that. Also, another way, because of the executive order and emergency management plans that are in place, under the government code, it gives us an opportunity to also fine individuals up to $1,000 or place them in jail up to 180 days. Also, in speaking with all the chiefs of police, we ask that they go back to the prospective cities and talk to the city officials and ask them to please, if any time, have code enforcement be very vigilant. And those individuals that are on the side of the road selling items, especially committing price gouging, and making sure that they check their ordinances and find out whether there's certain permits that these individuals have, and if they don't, to close them down. I think that if we continue to stop this in an effort where we all work together, then we can avoid and possibly stop price gouging. And why? Because it does matter when grandma and grandpa are being taken advantage of, because they don't have the opportunity to go to the grocery store and beat everyone else to the grocery store or to another business, and they have to resort to individuals who are taking advantage of them. That's when it hits home. And we want to make sure that we continue protecting them along with their citizens. I must say also that I want to compliment the businesses that are out there that are putting the best practices they can and giving every opportunity to every citizen to be able to buy the necessities that they need. We want to tell people to be calm, to respect each other. A lot of these businesses have in place where one can go in there and buy up to certain items. How does that help? It helps in this sense. One, it gives that citizen an opportunity to buy their necessities. Two, it avoids someone going into their business and buying in a bulk load and taking advantage of any price gouging that's out there. For example, I think it was Dollar General that allows the elderly at certain hours to go into their businesses and buy the necessities that they need. I compliment that business. And I think that all businesses should also follow the same. Again, not only will that help citizens buy their necessities, but it will also stop price gouging as well. So we are here to continue to provide the services that we can at the District Attorney's Office. Our offices will still be open. We will work with all law enforcement agencies in the federal, state, county, and municipal level to make sure that we ensure the safety of our citizens. Thank you. Now I'll have Sheriff Guerra speak to you.
Thank you. Good morning. First of all, I want to thank our media partners for coming today and press conference and putting out this very important message that we have. Standing behind me today is the chief executives from every police department here in Hidalgo County. We have our constables here we have our fire marshals, and we have here with us our biggest state partners, the regional director of DPS here with us today, and also the deputy chief of the Rio Grande Valley sector of U.S. Border Patrol, which is our biggest federal partner. We just had a roundtable discussion here. I want to thank Chief Victor Rodriguez and the McAllen PD for allowing us to come to this the venue and meet. We want to put out a message to all the citizens in Hidalgo County that the law enforcement here in Hidalgo County is unified, and we're still operating, and we are still out there protecting our communities. Some of the small changes that some of the departments have made, we are asking some of the reports concerning some of our citizens that can be taken over the phone. We're allowing them to be taken over the phone. However, most of our operations are continuing. There are some changes that we've made to the county jail. One of them, we stopped all visitation for inmates last week. And then early this week, we implemented testing of every individual that comes into the county jail. We ask them a series of questions, and their body temperature is taken, and then we assess. And this is from, I'm talking everybody, inmates coming in, including myself, the police agencies that are dropping off individuals to the county, attorneys, people that are delivering any supplies to the county jail. All of them are going through a screening process. But other than that, our law enforcement operations continue. We're here in a unified fashion to tell the public that. We ask the public to please bear with us and to be good neighbors. We're all in this together. We want to show the rest of Texas that the citizens of Hidalgo County can endure this and be good neighbors. We ask that you all ask your viewers to check on the elderly. They're the most vulnerable population that we have out there, and again, let's just all try to be good neighbors, and together we can get through this pandemic. Next up, we'll have a few comments from the regional director of DPS, Victor Escalon.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good morning, Victor Escalon, Regional Director for South Texas DPS. The message I have from DPS is that we're maintaining a strong presence on the highways, the roadways. We're augmenting our partners that are here behind me, the PDs, the Sheriff's Department, U.S. Border Patrol. We are working closely together to maintain a safe environment for you, the citizens. So we work for you, we're here for you. We are not going anywhere, no doubt. We are not going anywhere, and this brings us closer together in these times, and it is great. One thing I wanted to pass on is the driver license office closed 2 days ago. As a result, to avoid large gatherings, so we're doing the online renewing of driver license. That is still in effect. But if your license is expired, that's okay. It's been delayed until this scenario, this event is over. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have. And we're here together, and we're here for you, most importantly. So thank you, Sheriff. What I'll do now is turn it over to Deputy Chief Austin Skero with U.S. Border Patrol.
Good morning, everyone. So first and foremost, thank all of you for being here. We are unified. I want that made perfectly clear. We are in lockstep with all of our federal partners, or all of our state and local partners. The safety of the public is in the safety of our employees, and slowing the spread of COVID-19 is our focus. That is the focus of the United States Border Patrol. Our agents are taking proactive measures to minimize risk of exposure among our workforce and anyone that we encounter. We're actively patrolling the river, our checkpoints are open, and we are working with all of our state and local partners to slow the spread of this virus. That is our common goal. Together, we here in the Valley have been through a lot. We've seen our share of crisis. We've seen natural disasters. We will get through this one too. We will get through this if we're calm and we're committed and we remain the family that we are. We will get through this one too. Thank y'all very much.
Just a couple of things before we close and open up for Q&A here. Obviously, Q&A, if you want to do one-on-ones, we'll break out here. You can do those. I did want to mention that we have some of our school districts here with us. They are significant partners. They have significant police departments, and they're part of the matrix of law enforcement that you have in front of you at this point in time. I want to say this in Spanish for the benefit of the Spanish-speaking community. Estamos unidos para tomar dirección centralizada del condado de Hidalgo. Estamos unidos para proteger a nuestra comunidad. Estamos unidos para seguir en esta emergencia y tener éxito durante esta emergencia y para asegurar a todos ustedes que son miembros de nuestra comunidad. Todos estamos aquí representando una observación que queremos hacer, es que queremos todos trabajar juntos para proteger a nuestras comunidades. So, con eso les damos las gracias. With that, we'll thank you and close it up, and we'll take questions. We can do it this way, or we can do one-on-ones, whatever you wish. Q&As. One-on-ones. Okay. So thank you all so much. All right. Thank you.
Our team. Stories that count from people who care.